What up, y'all? It's your man, Abuamerican. Working late shifts, waking up early. You know, that video I made on Lauren Southern, I wasn't really expecting this response, especially for something so clear-cut and straightforward. I even put that goofy BBC documentary in the front so people understood context. But this has brought me to some new conclusions. And so I guess I'm going to have to let them fly. I'm not really sure what's unclear about what I'm saying. Goofy lighting. Let me fix this lighting. Shoot. There we go. About Lauren Southern's intellectual dishonesty. No one's saying that the situation in South Africa isn't real. I never denied that in the video. And I never in the video said that the resultant actions of years of oppression of an indigenous population are okay. I didn't even say, I guess people are understanding that I'm justifying it somehow, and I'm not. I never said that. If you can show me a timestamp on my video where I said where I've said it's justified or where I said it's okay, by all means, please show me, and I'll make a retraction of that statement. It's not okay. Just like it wasn't okay for white people to oppress an indigenous population for so long. And that's my point. My point is this ass kicking that white people are getting in South Africa didn't fall out of the sky. It didn't just come out of nowhere because those mean old black people are just evil and that's what they do. It's not like that. The reality of the situation is white Europeans went to Africa. They raped, they killed, they pillaged, they enslaved. Then they made segregation and whatever else. And then they enforced that with state power for a very long time. And now the indigenous population has got a leg up. And they're pissed because they're looking at white people living really well off the back of all of that oppression of their ancestors. And they're saying, look at me, I'm living in this shack. And that guy over there is living in a villa. And he's only living in that villa because they killed my ancestors and took their land and their property and their riches. And they enslaved them and they had them build that stuff for free or next to free. Now, of course, the people living in that villa right now are off of the benefits of their ancestral oppression, have really nothing to do with what his grandfather did. Or even his father. I get that. But when you are in a position of weakness, do you really care about that? Let's look at true human psychology and behavior. Look at how white people are responding to black people oppressing them now. And you're telling me you can't somewhere in your mind understand what's going through their minds. Is that what you're telling me? I've come to a conclusion, and I hate panning white people. I really do. I don't like attacking anybody's particular race or gender or whatever else, unless there's like a consistent pattern and thread of behavior in which to establish that attack upon. I have a very good experience with white people. Becky's sitting right here. Becky's a white girl. I've been with her for quite some time. My ex-wife, 24 years, a white woman. I got a bunch of kids with her. My grandfather, 100% white. My best friend who watches these videos, 100% white. I got a South African friend who watches these videos. He's 100% white. I don't have anything against white people, so I don't really like making statements that are racially charged against white people. It's part of who I am. I'm a mixed person. It's part of who I am in terms of my children. It's a part of who I am in the culture and the society that I grew up with. I didn't grow up in the United States, so I don't have like a racial anger towards white people. So I find it difficult to make statements, what I'm about to make, against white people. But I've come to the understanding by watching videos, watching comment sections, by making videos, that white people are perfectly okay with oppression as long as it's not them being oppressed. And I just don't know what to do with that. Now, we could say, no, Walt, not all women are like that. No, not all white people are like that. And that's obvious that not all white people are like that. It's obvious. Because if they were, I wouldn't have friends with them. I wouldn't be related to them. I wouldn't have family that are white people. But I'm coming to the understanding that you guys are exceptionally selective in how you view the world. And you're excellent at distorting the truth. Black Lives Matter. I'm completely against Black Lives Matter. But I also find them completely, impotent. Probably inept to top it off. But impotent is 100% correct. White people pushed to have Black Lives Matter listed as a terrorist organization. But they never, not once, did they ever try to get the Ku Klux Klan, which has a history of raping, pillaging, killing American citizens, listed as a terrorist organization. Very selective. Very selective. Colin Kaepernick. He protested taking a knee because he thinks, I don't care which it is, feels or thinks, because the two are not the same, that black people are unjustly treated by the American police force. So he takes a knee during the national anthem. People lose their mind. Wait, when is it right? When is it right? It obviously is never going to be right. If you take a knee and you're silent, that's wrong. If you make an organization and you protest loudly, that's wrong. If you protest with violence, that's wrong. When is it right? It's only right when you shut up and take these licks, nigger. I mean, what else is left? Someone give me a solution. Someone give me a solution here. Someone give me clarity so that I can understand. Obviously, according to Stephen Molyneux, my intellect, my ability to think, and my intelligence is exceptionally low as a black man. So please, break it down to me very slowly using preferably small words. Come on, give it to me. Because if I, as a low intelligence, see, there it is, that's my intelligence, so there we go. As a low intelligence black male, as Stephen Molyneux would say, if I'm apparently having ease in seeing the history of what's going on in South Africa and the after effects, I don't know why nobody else is seeing this with me. Apparently, I'm just that stupid. You know, we have to look at causation. We have to look at cause and effect. We have to. It's like Warren Farrell. He recently came out with a video, and he showed conclusively that 100% of American school shootings are the results of single mothers raising boys. Fathers matter. The origin counts. It makes a difference. When we look at Europe's version of a school shooter, Alexander Breivik, in Finland or Sweden, where was it? One of the northern countries, killed 98 people, mostly kids. What was he raised by? A single mother. Are these arguable facts? When we look at South Africa and what's going on, do we deny that there was an entire system, an entire structure of extreme oppression against an indigenous population that might maybe come back to bite you in the ass later? Is that what we're saying? So when I say Lawrence Southern is intellectually dishonest, yeah, you can't just start from here today and say, oh my God, look at this. You can't do that. If a person has a consistent pattern of failure in their life, self-inflicted failure, he just quits when he needs to push harder. And then later in life, he's just a complete loser. Do we just say, he's just a poor victim of circumstance right now? Or is he a victim of just poor choices throughout his life that led to the point he's at now? It happens that people who are on a particular good path fall into hard times. That happens to people. But that's not the story of South Africa. I don't care what you want to think about your father, what you want to think about your grandfather or your great-grandfather. They were pieces of shit. And they set you, current South Africans, up for the situation you're in. Now, I'm not saying the situation's okay. I didn't say that in the first video, and I'm not saying it now. I'm not saying it's okay to go out and kill you, rape you, whatever else, and steal your stuff. It's not. It's happened. It's done. Now it's the time, like, you know what? We're not going to like each other. How do we live together? Because you're here now. But let's not act like this just came out of nowhere. That is intellectually dishonest. And in regards to my video, all y'all people flipping out, losing your mind, you know, oh, us poor, unintelligent black people, I tell you. What happened to your ability of information synthesis and analysis, or analysis and synthesis, whichever you prefer to put first? What happened? I'll tell you what happened. You're all emotional. You're all in your feels. You're all butthurt. I think it's a combination of white knighting for a pretty white girl and emotional anger. That's what I think it is. I don't know what else it is, because no one can show me anywhere in my video. And if you can, please, by all means, timestamp it and put it in the comment sections where I said it's okay what's happening in South Africa. I just said it's completely dishonest to act like that ass kicking fell out of the sky. If I go and I with a lion all day and I poke it with a stick, I know it's a tame lion, someone raised it as a cub, and I keep poking him with a stick. I smack him on the head. He has some cubs, I kick him in the face. Tie him up and make him wear little bells in the zoo and whatever, and I make a bunch of money off him. And then one day the lion's just like, you know what, F this dude. Bow! Smacks me with a big paw, bites my neck off. He didn't do it to anybody else. The lion didn't do it to nobody else. He just did it to me. The guy poking him with a stick. Come with him. That's South Africa. You're not the majority on the continent. It was, you know, it was an inevitability that the tides were going to change. Unless you plan on killing the entire, like, continent of black people, which, when we look at King Leopold, obviously many white people have no problem with. When you read the comments on most of the videos, you know, that are similar to mine, this is something that obviously a lot of white people don't have a problem with. The concept and the idea of a race war, because you are very sure of yourself that you can win it, is something you don't have a problem with whatsoever. White people are nice until we're not so nice. What the hell does that supposed to mean? Break that down to me. What does that have to do with anything? You could say that about any people on the planet. Well, black people were nice until they're not so nice. Oh, the story of South Africa. How ironic that you can't see your own stupid lines in the story that's being told. This is the story that's being lived right now. No, Lauren Southern's being intellectually dishonest. Her reporting on what's happening, 100% accurate. But that doesn't mean that she's being intellectually honest. She's not. Unless someone wants to tell me that South Africa doesn't have a history of oppressing its indigenous population. Does someone want to tell me that? Is that what you're telling me? Drop it in the comment sections if that's what you're saying. Did your man Abuamerican. Catch me on Steam it, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. All at Abuamerican. I'm out.